How you doing, Facebook family? This is Anthony Grigsby, World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com, also representing San Joaquin Black Biz. And today is Talk Tuesday, and we got a special guest today that I've been trying to get on. You know, she's so busy, but I'm happy to have her. Her name is Renee West, and she is the owner of Purpose Passion Tax Company, and she is a former IRS tax auditor. Man, you know she's going to have some information to give us today. All right, so hey, without further ado, let's bring on to the screen Renee West. Renee, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm good. We're glad, like I said, glad for you to come on to the show. I appreciate it. You know, we're here at San Joaquin Black Biz. We're just about providing the information, you know, that our community needs, and it's valuable, and they need to take advantage of. You know, so as I mentioned, you're a former IRS tax auditor. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So let's say I started with the Internal Revenue Service in 2008, May of 2008. I started assigning people their employer identification numbers for people who had businesses. And then 3 months later, I was promoted to a collection rep in automated collection services. And I stayed there for roughly 6 years. I had an amazing manager who told me, one day she called me in her office and she was like, you need to work somewhere else. Like, you need a new job. So I'm gonna need you to find a new job. I was like, I don't know how to take this. Like, she was like, really, like your talents and your gifts will never be respected in this department. You need to, so it's time for you to go somewhere else. I was like, dang, do you like me or do you hate me or do you love me? So she was like, literally go apply to jobs right now. So I left her office and I went and applied for an auditor position, and I was hired. I was selected to be a tax compliance officer. So I started that position in September of 2014. And then I left there in September of 2017. And I started Purpose and Passion Tax Company. So I have roughly over 9.5 years of experience with the Internal Revenue Service, and I just never knew that they were preparing me for my own company.
Hey, that's a great story. You know, it's a lot of times, you know, we don't realize what our calling is, and then we figure it out, and we're like, man, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to accept the position. My mom, like at the time, I was working for Contra Costa County in their payroll department for IHSS. And roughly the IRS was paying me 20 cents more. And I was like, why would I leave a job I already know everybody at? I love everybody at. It's down the street. My mom was like, you never know what God is preparing you for. Like, go. And, you know, I owe it all to my mama. Because I wouldn't have left, because I was like, it's 20 cents.
Hey, don't mamas know? They know.
Yeah, she really knew.
Awesome. Hey, so, you know, so you say you were Purpose Passion. I like the name Purpose Passion Tax Company, because, you know, you're with a purpose and you have a passion to do what you do. So I love that name. So you're a tax resolution company.
Yes.
Explain to our people what a tax resolution company is. What do you do? What is it? Explain it.
So the easiest way to explain is I solve tax problems. So let's say you owe the IRS a bunch of money and you don't know how to pay it. I help you figure out a way to pay it, whether that be we set up an installment agreement that you can afford versus the one the IRS tells you this is what you're going to pay. There's ways around that, whether it be you can't afford it. And so I submit an offer on your behalf where let's say you owe the IRS $50,000. I complete a financial analysis and I determine that, nope, we're only going to offer them $50. And sometimes, like, it's weird, like people hire me to help them, but then when I help them, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you really could do that. I'm like, you hired me. Like, what did you think I was going to do? So I negotiate with the IRS on your behalf to help you pay less. Some people owe back taxes. That's a part of tax resolution. That's resolving your delinquency status with the Internal Revenue Service. So I file back taxes. Some people they're audited. That's a tax problem in a major way. So I help people prepare for their audits. Basically, if you have an IRS problem, I can help you. I help people sleep at night. So they don't have to worry about it. Like, don't worry, I'll take care of it for you. And I educate them along the way. And that's the problem. Most people are intimidated by the IRS. I'm like, it's just the IRS, like they're people, no biggie.
Well, that's easy for you to say because you were one of them. But yeah, when people see IRS letters or anything like that, yeah, it comes with a heavy heart because you're like, man, I'm going up against this giant and I don't know how to fight him. So yeah, so you said, you can take a $50,000 debt. This is just an example, but take a $50,000 debt and say, I'm going to offer you $50. And they might just say, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have never had an offer denied.
Because the main thing is they just want their money or some portion of that money, and they want it knocked off their books and moved on, right?
Well, no, that's not it. But there are different situations where they'll negotiate with you. Like either we can hound you for this or we can take what you're trying to give us. And so it has to be like a perfect scenario.
Okay.
And sometimes people have perfect situations, they just don't know. And you can literally, I've had a client come to me, she submitted her paperwork. The IRS did not fool with her. Then she came to me and now all is well. She was like, I don't understand. Like I did the paperwork too. I'm like, but you didn't do it how I did it. Like it's different.
Right. And that's I like how you said that because a lot of times, you have to respect that people are experts in their field. And that's why we hire, experts. And people think, okay, I don't want to hire somebody because now I got to pay them and do it. But hey, I could pay you and I would end up paying less overall or do it myself and really get jacked up.
That's exactly what I tell people. Like I meet people all the time and they're like, oh my gosh, you charge how much? I'm like, well, your alternative is paying the whole amount to the IRS. It doesn't bother me either way. Mm-hmm. Like I eat, I sleep both ways. And so, yeah, most people are like, they're sticker shocked. Like, oh my gosh. I'm like, again, you can pay me or you can pay the IRS. It doesn't bother me either way.
Well, hey, we already kind of segued into my second question, which was why is a tax resolution company beneficial? So you kind of already touched base on that. Is there anything else you wanted to add as to why it's beneficial to utilize your service?
Because people are running from the IRS. Like if you don't want to get your paycheck levied, you don't want to get liens filed against your property, or just you in general, you don't want to receive the phone calls. Like, like you said, the IRS can be very intimidating to people. But it's not when you once were a decision maker at the IRS and you know what the IRS needs and what they're looking for. At the end of the day, I use what they taught me to help everyday people.
Okay.
It's a win-win for you.
I wish I had known you about 15 years ago. I actually got audited once from another business I had. And I had to go in. Luckily, I had a lot of paperwork, had a lot of receipts, and I went in with my binder and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to handle this. What you need? And she was on me. This lady was on me. She was like, oh nope, we're not gonna take this. Oh nope, we're not gonna take this. And I'm like, but so I said, okay. So I sat there patiently and listened, and then kind of listened to her feedback. And I realized in the conversation, I was like, okay. I know some things she's looking for. Yeah, ma'am, can I reschedule and come back to you? And she's like, yeah, okay. Went back and did a little bit of homework, but if I had you, it would have been done.
That information document request, like it tells people everything that they need to bring to an audit. But I think people see like, oh, I have an IRS notice, and they don't pay it any attention. So just listen to you speak made me think like people will show up to the audit with bank statements and credit card statements. Your information document request, that's the letter that's telling you what type of substantiation to bring to your audit. It literally tells you on there, we don't care about that. But people will bring you bank statements and credit card statements saying, I paid for this, that, and the other. Where's your actual itemized receipt? That's what the tax law requires. And people don't understand that. It's like, okay, yes, your bank statement says that you went to Costco and you spent $2,000. Your bank statement does not tell me that $200 of that was for copy paper, but that $1,800 was for the pool for your backyard. Right. That is why the IRS does not go by bank statements and credit card statements. Where's the receipt? Because your receipt will tell me that. That's the nugget. Like people miss it all the time. Like,
I was going to say that's an important key. You're right. People, the layman business person thinks my receipt or my statement will just say, okay, I spent money here. This is where I spent the money. But you're right. It's not telling me what you spent it on, right? So yeah, very good key point. So, so if I'm getting my letters and I'm not answering, not paying attention, running from the IRS like most people do, tell us some consequences of not addressing those tax issues as a business or even as an individual.
Oh gosh. Okay. So just not having proper education regarding the IRS in your business entity or even you as a person, then you receive notices. So the IRS will send you 3 notices, and those are like courtesy notices. They don't even have to. They just need to send you 2. The thought that's going through my head right now is this: some people don't file their income tax returns. However, they may have outstanding balance due. So the IRS just mails you a notice to your last record, address of record. When you move, you need to update your address with the Internal Revenue Service, because once the IRS proves that they mailed you the certified letter at the address they had on file, it doesn't matter that you didn't get it. If that notice said that they were going to issue a levy for your wages, then they're going to issue a levy. If that notice said that they were going to file a federal tax lien, they're going to file a federal tax lien. The IRS can also issue a levy for your bank account. So that means you go to the bank, right? And you like, ooh, okay, we're about to go on this trip. I'm just take out some cash. And then you find out, oops, the IRS done sold that thing up and you can't touch it for 30 days. And you're like, wait, whoa, what? What happened?
Wait, what? Yeah.
Like, I dealt with those conversations often, and they're ugly. Like, and it's unfortunate because sometimes what's important to you as an individual, it's not important to the IRS. So the reason you think your levy should be released, no, that's not the reason the IRS thinks it should be released. So if you have been issued a levy on your bank account or your wages, but then you haven't filed your income tax returns, the IRS isn't even going to lift your levy because you're still not compliant. You still have an IRS issue.
Wow, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep.
People don't realize it. Like, it's the reason why you hire professionals to help you. And so another thing too regarding a business, unfortunately, a lot of people, like, they have these great ideas, and so they start a business and everyone wants to be an LLC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've seen it on Facebook, become an LLC. Everybody wants to be an LLC. They drive me nuts with that. I gripe about it all the time. Please do not. So one thing that people don't realize, when you become an LLC, just becoming an LLC means nothing. Like, for the IRS, that just means you're a limited liability company. You still have to figure out how you're going to file your return with the IRS. Are you going to be a sole proprietor? Are you going to be a C corporation? Are you going to be an S corporation? Like, what are you going to be? If you decide to be an S corporation, now you have employee taxes that you need to pay, even if you're your only employee. Like, you have to pay yourself as an employee. People don't realize that that's an additional expense.
Mm-hmm.
When you become an S corporation, now to file an S corporation return, that's an additional expense, because now you have to file your state return, you have to file your personal return, and now you have a true business return that you need to submit. But none of those memes talk about it, right? They just tell you to become an LLC. And you do it because your friend on Facebook said, "Ooh, I should be an LLC." Okay. Okay. Then you want to call me with the questions, but don't want to pay for the consultation. I can't help you.
Wow. Well, you know what? And that's a very good point. And I'm glad you brought that up, because, people are following, these,
the trend,
the YouTubes and these Facebook advice. And I'm like, okay, man, you better do some of your own research, or you better, find an actual professional. And maybe maybe a professional does have a YouTube channel also, but you have to vet that person and vet what they're telling you, and not just jump into it and think, hey, I'm all good.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. Yes. That's cool. Hey,
let me say that people don't realize too that they can look up their tax preparers. So on my business page this weekend, I posted about how you can look up to see if your tax professional is actually certified and approved by the IRS. And it basically just means that they have some type of credentialing from the IRS, where the IRS says, yes, has taken continuing education courses, and it's okay for you to go to this person. Everyone wants to be a tax professional, but nobody knows the tax laws.
There you go. Can you say it again?
Everyone wants to be a tax professional, but no one knows the tax law.
So I love that you brought that up, because in one of my other videos, I talked about stepping up your game as a Black business, or just a business in general, but I like to focus on our businesses. So if you're going to be a professional, be licensed, be insured, file everything you need to file, Have all your have your website up to date, look in order. Have a proper business email. Have a proper business account. I mean, the worst thing that you can have is I had a client that actually I used somebody for a service, and I was trying for me to pay them. I'm like, okay, send me a link, and I'll pay it with my card. And they didn't have a link.
Don't tell me you cashed out.
no, yeah. Then they wanted to cash. I was like, I don't cash out. I said, look,
no.
I tried to pay you, but you know what? I'll send you a check. Now it's just gonna take longer you to get it and cash it, but I could have paid you right now. But as a business, as a client, if you tell me, well, hey, go on my Instagram or cash at me, I'm thinking, wait a minute, you're not legit. So,
Cash App, no. Unless, now I will say this, there are people do have Cash App for businesses. However, you still need to be able to keep adequate records, right? And the Cash App which is really Square, will issue a 1099-K so you can see your transactions. I'm not sure how it works for people who have Cash App business, but I mean, just get Square. Like it's not
that hard.
It's not hard. Like I think to start, maybe it was like $200, but I think I just paid for that and I don't pay again. Like it's okay to invest in your business. It's a write-off. Legit business expenses are write-offs. It's okay. And people are afraid of taxes, right? I've been telling people here recently, because I've had a lot of people like, can you reduce my taxes? Can you do this? I honestly don't know if I can reduce your taxes. It depends on what you legally are entitled to regarding deductions. However, the other side of this, you could be the person under the bridge who doesn't pay taxes, who's looking for food and garbages, or you could be the person paying taxes.
Right? That's simple. That's simple, huh?
It really is that simple. The IRS doesn't want you to pay more than what you should. But if you're not honest and you're not reporting all of your income, then the IRS, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. The IRS's job is to make sure that you are paying adequate taxes on your income. That's it.
Okay. Well, Renee, can you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you? Because I know some people out there could definitely use your service.
Oh, thank you. So I can be reached via my website, which is p-ptc.com. That stands for purpose. The hyphen is for the ands, and then PTC, that's purpose and passion tax company.com. I do not answer quick tax questions. So if someone wants to ask questions and pick my brain, then just schedule a consultation. I do direct all tax questions that people want to bombard my time with back to their tax professionals. So if someone has questions, then just schedule the consultation. I have services listed on my website. I've changed it just because I think maybe it was a little overwhelming for some people. So I have changed it to where there are certain services you may have to call and get a price just because I need to know more information about what you need as an individual. But I teach tax professionals. I teach regular everyday people. I'm here to help. Like I love helping people. So
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Hey, well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I know we took a minute to connect, but that's because I know you're a busy woman. But thank you for taking the time out. I'll have your information in the link below, in the description below, so they'll be able to link, to click on you, and I will definitely share this information on all of our platforms. So thanks again. Hey everybody, this is Anthony Grigsby, World Events Insurance, worldevents.ga.com, San Joaquin Black Biz. And hit that like and subscribe button below. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Hey, this is Shop Black Stockton. Follow Black Business. We'll see you next time. Thanks again, Renee.
Thank you. Bye.